It's March 12th, 2022. I'm watching the nightly news. It's ABC World News Tonight. It's the one with David Muir, just for placement. They're speaking about Ukraine more than just the Donbass region now. They moved into a whatever. And it dawns on me there, where I am or where I've been in a 22 or double Z. Where they are, it's a 55. It's a double S. For the discrepancies with the articulation of management, there it would appear. I don't know what their money looks like, their paper, their bartering system or currency in Ukraine, being the envelope of Ukraine, like I'm in the envelope of whatever I'm in. I don't know what their system is. I've never been. They're in a 55 double S region. I'm in a 22 double Z region across the water. I know what my area has systematically. I know when they say the word mayor that what is inhabiting a mayorship is not allowed on a 22 double Z scale. I understand because I can see where there's not supposed to be argument ever. However, I see that there's a family that uses a 3-letter last name that has two different, we'll call them envelopes, or not envelopes, but actually it's better to just go with a puzzle piece. If Eurasia has puzzle pieces they call country, I'll use the word puzzle for a 55 SS. My system has something similar, but where I am currently being held, it's a 22 double Z zone or area or puzzle pieces, and currently 48 puzzle pieces, with 2 exterior puzzle pieces, are supposed to be on the same system, and they go by the same paper, they go by the same union on my side. I don't want the height, that one word, to get confused because it's usually used more within a 55 double S zone, the word Soviet, but on where I am, I'm in a 22 double Z zone, so they never use that word over here. While there's unrest in the American colonies and something called an American Revolutionary War I'm trying to go over, but I see when the area governor of a 55 double S zone, which is my own personal way of describing it, I have no idea, and I don't mean to interfere with anybody else, but I have no other way of constructing it. I see they use the word governor and they use the word mayor almost interchangeably, and they look like they have different rules. I don't know if the 22 double Z area where I am, if they are they're elected in over here, but it's constant changing of the guard, which has been off guard in the 22 double Z. It appears, and I can't confirm, that they may have more of a assigned something in the 55 double S area, because I don't know if they have to leave every 4 years. I saw one of the mayors was taken away by the Russian soldiers and dragged out of his area. His people, or the people that were there, he was the one who was named Italia, I think. He was, I don't know if he was following or whatever. Doesn't really give you much information, which is fine for me at the moment since there's not much over here. It's less intellectual, we'll call it at the moment. I have some papers, but it does not describe the finite, definable, for people who are in the déchirures or the shoe business in les États-Unis or Stati Uniti. So I'm looking, this is the program for reference of what I am speaking and where I am hearing such things. What it is the man says, and again, I don't know the area because it's 55 and SS, but on my side of 22 where I'm having a problem, I'm besieged, but in a totally different context. But the fact that the articulation of vernacular or verbiage, more verbiage, I think, and possibly vernacular, because again, different landlords, overlords, drug lords, warlords. I mean, the possibilities of the warhouse being the warehouse. I mean, I'm not, whatever. But I did catch the way that the individual was describing his area and his patriotism for, he was assigned a governance or a mayoral. On the bottom, I think they labeled it mayoral, but I don't know if that's, again, on my side in New York State, trying to fill a gap of lesser understanding by a journalist. I'm not really sure, but I'm making a note of it because it is significant in my particular mayor. While it might fit, he might fit certain criteria, and at the moment, he has left my whatever in a fallout shelter, appropriate, whatever. I'm working with the whatever in whatever keeps me safe. For the most part, there are other things going on, and I have seen other cities, not cities, but major metropolis, that are not following. It's almost like they're starting to gather these metropolises. They're getting built up. They're getting backing. I don't know if it's by the sports industry. Within a 22, like, double Z zone is where I'm mentally speaking on. And it's a besiegement like an aggravated growing concern. And I'm just wondering when gathering support for my side does not look genetic counsel correct, and it's a growing problem mixed in with some other threatening realities. I'm just wondering if they're going off of a strategic 55 double S zone management style, which, being that the genetics have flipped and does not match national security safety standards any longer in the 22 double Z zone, where I am in the Gotham area of whatever, held in this really weird position. But here's the gentleman speaking on it, which is what made my interests peak, because I'm like, if they're going into legality meetings and they're using a more stringent, like, post-war, but like they're functioning, but they're not getting worse, but they're not getting better. But I'm like, that's really interesting because I definitely am in a more progressive state in my particular besiegement of 22 double Z zone, not with artillery fire or that I'm aware of or that gets displayed on the news, but for certain in New York, it's a civil aggressiveness by a population that's growing in a scary ratio.
The strategic southern stronghold just east of Odessa, more rounds of shelling. Videos circulating on social media showing several explosions near an apartment complex there today.
Now, I can't confirm, and I'm not trying to. Whatever this pertains to, I don't know. And the man speaking, I don't know if this is the town that he watches over. I don't know. But what I do know is that there some visual cues that tell me it's somewhere in a 55, on the 55 corridor with a double S corridor of verse or verbiage.
Blasts also striking near a playground as a man ducks for cover. The region's governor, Vitaly Kim, sitting down.
See, region's governor. That's where, again, it gets really interesting for me. I'm not sure what this is. I have not seen that symbol. Although if I sat here long enough, I'm sure I could figure out places to go. But he has this over here. But it's the words that I don't know if it's the American voice voice actor who's bringing the broadcast out, if she writes her own script. I don't know their process for finding vocabulary words that are appropriate, especially during these times. I don't know if these are the words that the man was given. I'm not quite sure.
Down with us remotely just moments after his city came under fire overnight.
We have been shot, bombed in a rocket attack. We have damages in the private sector, civilian sector, damages in electricity, heat, and gas.
Ukrainians say the blast hit a cancer hospital with several hundred patients inside.
We have no choice. We have to fight.
With Mykolaiv under fire,
There's a couple of different mentions up here. This one says aerial recovery. There's another one that says something else.
daring operation by Aerial Recovery Mission, an American organization that's working alongside the Ukrainian government. 35 orphans picked up.
There were orphans that they wanted to return back. So
They're safe. Just glad they're safe. These kids now safe in a shelter in Lviv. But for many Ukrainian leaders like him, they say their only choice is to stay and fight. Do you ever think about leaving? Would you ever leave?
I thought about leaving, but I can't.
right. See, he uses this word "my city" as in a possessive, which sometimes I use as well. But again, for me, I match the rock, the paper, in this territory. So I use the possessive word in a when I find my people kind of a way and need to ask them for help. I don't know how else to alert them to things that I've found along the way that could be helpful in some of the whatever.
Can do this because this is my city, my region, and my people and my land. So I can do this.
And again, I've heard just recently the mayor of New York City called Eric Adams. He, again, it's not a 55 double S zone. So this is a temporary Band-Aid that's got, I don't know if it has something to do with sports and labor contracts, but it's a growing concern, and it seems to be a revolving door of like almost just, they just keep pushing it off, pushing the problem off, but it's becoming a really dangerous trend of like, well, when is it ever going to rectify itself to look appropriate for the area? And I don't know who gets to ask those questions. I've been held away from the man. They say that there's a man somewhere. I don't know, take it up with the man, right? Okay, well, you know how to find the man, because I've been missing him my entire life, and I just don't know where to stand and how to participate in making his life easier. So that was what was on World News tonight. But that distinction, because from what they're displaying, what they're speaking on, they have a very different whatever they're working through. I, on my hand, am seeing a very silent threat almost. I mean, it's loud at times, but I don't know where the answer lays. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole, Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe. Galaxy is broken, and it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.